offering state-of-the-art procedures, all here for you and all here at Altman.
All right, it's time to talk Cleveland Guardians baseball, and today we get to do it with Bobby DiBiasio from the Cleveland Guardians. Good morning, Bob. How are you?
I'm doing wonderfully, Pam. How are you? It's also always fun when you win a series against the New York Yankees.
I know. That was just wonderful.
Yes.
I wasn't too happy about the series prior to that in Pittsburgh, but I wasn't
understand.
surprised.
Yes, I understand. I'll tell you, as we talked prior to coming on, that crowd and what the bridge looked like for Paul Skeen's bobblehead day. It just, you love seeing things like that, how fan bases can get fired up. I don't know if you saw the video of the Dodger fans parading around Wrigley Field the other day. Pretty funny, but yeah, I didn't get over to PNC only because it was Easter weekend, which was a bummer because my wife and I, we had plans to, spend the weekend in Pittsburgh, have some fun. Then we realized, oh my goodness, it's Easter. And obviously family things going on with the 3 grandkids. So, but Paul Skeen's, boy, he doesn't disappoint. He's pretty amazing.
He is. He's such a big guy. I think that's what I keep taking away from this when I see him. How he's just a big guy. But
he's a big, strong guy.
Yeah,
and he knows what he's doing. We were able to scratch and claw for a couple. Manzardo obviously looking for a certain pitch and was able to do something fun with it, putting it in the Allegheny. And we were able to shut out. The Pirates are having trouble scoring some runs, and we were able to, go in there and sweep them to get a 4-2 road trip and turn around and come home. I think we're 11-4 in our last 15, so we've been playing pretty well.
Yeah, it's been great. And now moving on to, let's see, when they play tomorrow night.
Tomorrow, right? Starts a weekend against Boston. Comes in. So the Yankees and Red Sox back to back, and then 4 against Minnesota before we go back on the road. And then in May, we have a pretty interesting May. Philadelphia Phillies come in the first weekend of May 9, 10, and 11. And then we have 4 at Detroit, which will be really interesting. And then the Dodgers come to town, followed by the Angels. So we have a 6-game homestand at the end of May. That's all LA Dodgers, LA Angels. So get to CleGuardians.com and check out what's happening. But still a lot of baseball at Progressive Field this homestand.
Yeah, and the weather's finally starting to cooperate. So that's always a good thing.
Yes, indeed.
And we see Jose Ramirez climbing up this home run list.
Yes.
You've seen the other people who held that record. What are your thoughts about that? I mean, seeing him do that, did you ever think he would be the one that would do it? Or
well, think about him, especially when he stands next to Aaron Judge out on a baseball field, or Jim Thome standing next to Jose Ramirez. You think of the big, strong, strapping, power hitter that's going to hit, 300 plus home runs in a career. And he's 5'10", maybe 185 or something. And so it just shows you what a remarkable athlete he is and the condition he keeps himself in. That's why it's so cool. Again, you saw Stephen Kwan stand next to Aaron Judge this homestand. I don't know if people listen, but on the radio network, Rosie did an interview with Aaron Judge yesterday in the pregame show, and they had Aaron Judge talked about Jose and what incredible respect he has for him and thinks he's an absolute superstar in our game. And which was pretty cool to hear an opposing player of that stature talk about Jose. But yeah, not just home runs, but extra base hits, doubles, RBIs, hits, et cetera, et cetera. If he stays healthy, he's signed through 2028. So this year and 3 more, he could be at the top of every significant offensive category in franchise history. And what that does, that creates a retired uniform number, a statue, and discussion about the National Baseball Hall of Fame. Hey, did you see what Stephen Kwan did yesterday with the baby reveal? Did you?
I did. Yes, his wristband. That was hilarious. And he thought nobody knew about it, but like he thought he was kind of doing it on the sly, but everybody knew about it, which was kind of funny. Yeah.
Yeah. The 2 wives, Rebecca and Samantha, were trying to figure out how to do a unique baby reveal for baby number 2 for the Fries. And Kwani, being such a remarkable guy, he was all in, and mostly because the isolation of rehab, Pam, is so difficult on an athlete, because you have to come in and deal with the trainers and the strength and conditioning coaches at a time when you're not taking up space for the guys on the active roster.
Yeah.
And so you have to get in early before a lot of guys are there. And so you sort of not feel part of the group. And one thing about Kwani is that this was the whole concept was, he knows he's going through rehab, and he wanted to remind him he's part of the team, and everybody's thinking about him. And so he said, yeah, I'll do the wristband thing called timeout, put on a wristband, which is pretty cool.
And they're having a girl. So
yes, they're having a little girl.
So you're coming to Stark County in the next today and the next couple
Well,
of days.
today, yeah, Sandy Lang over at the North Canton Rotary. I get an invite every year to come and chat with that group over at Arrowhead Golf Club. We always have fun just talking ball. And then Monday, our man Frank is invited me to talk at the Hall of Fame luncheon series. I was kidding with Kenny and JT on the air when they were at the ballpark the other day. There was a time period when we were struggling a little bit, and the question answer period at the Hall of Fame luncheon series is the best. I mean, they just fire away at you, and it's so much fun. But the one year I walked in with a shopping bag, and when I was done with my little spiel, I said, all right, fire away. And I went in the shopping bag and I put on a catcher's mask. I said, great. I'm ready for you.
You are always ready for him. That's awesome. Well, enjoy, sir. Enjoy your visit to Stark County. And of course, everybody get those tickets. There's a lot of great games coming up at the ballpark. Yes, indeed.
Right? Check out that calendar, cleguardians.com. Thanks, Pam.
Bye, Bob.
Bye.